What's up everybody, it's Izzy, and in this video I want to provide you with an alternative strategy to traditional bodybuilding style bulking and cutting for weight class management. So some of the advice that I typically give to people, if you're familiar with my material, is that you should bulk until you hit a certain body fat percentage and cut until you hit a certain body fat percentage, and vice versa, and that you repeat the process, and over time, you'll slowly move up weight classes and things like that. However, what I actually do for most of my late stage intermediate competitors and my advanced competitors, so I'm talking people who have been training consistently under good programming for 3 or 4 or 5 years, not people who still benefit from traditional bulks like novices. So this is not a novice weight management strategy because it will just slow down your progress if you try it as a novice. But for late stage intermediates and advanced athletes, instead of having them cut and bulk between a body fat range, what I often suggest is that they cut and bulk between specific body weight numbers that are relative to their weight class. So the range will usually be anywhere from 3 to 5 to 6 kilos depending on the size of the lifter. So for example, let's say we have a middleweight male who competes in the 83 kg weight class. Alright, so you might have this individual bulk until he hits about 86.5 kilos and then cut until he hits 82.5 kilos. And he would just repeat this process over and over. And every time that he finishes a mini bulk up to 86.5 and a mini cut down to 82.5, there's going to be slightly more muscle mass, right? So that's kind of the point of this. And he's always within water cutting distance of his weight class. He's never so far away from his weight class that he has to do a big long cut, or he's never training at body weights that are so high above his weight class that it could really impact his performance when he goes to do a meet and he's at a much lower body weight than he's used to training at. So it kind of gets rid of some of those issues that crop up when you have longer bulks and longer cuts that are really more appropriate for bodybuilding than they are for advanced weight class athletes. So like I said, with this approach, you're still bulking and cutting, but really it's more of a recomping strategy where you're bulking and cutting within a very tight body weight range and over time accruing more muscle mass within those numbers so that you are recomping, and eventually you will still have to move up weight classes unless you're near your genetic max as an advanced athlete or whatever, right? It's just that when you move up weight classes with this strategy as a late stage intermediate athlete or, advanced athlete, it's because you have no other choice instead of just, the traditional cut bulk method based on body fat percentages. So here's what I mean. Let's go back to our hypothetical male 83 kg lifter. Let's say when he first starts this process, he's 18% body fat when he hits 86.5 kilos. And over 3 years of doing this strategy, let's say, now when he gets up to 86.5, he's 13% body fat or 12% body fat. And every time he gets down near 83, he starts to get really lean and perhaps even lose too much muscle. And from there, he can't cut down to 82.5 anymore because it makes him get too lean. So the water cuts have to get bigger and bigger. And at this point, you would start considering, okay, is it now appropriate? Is it now time to move up weight classes since this weight class is more or less maxed out? And only at this point would the lifter consider moving up to 93 kilos because it's unlikely that, they're going to continue to be able to make weight at 83 kilos while staying close to their weight class. So as you can see, it's not much different than your traditional all-out cutting and bulking strategy that you would find in a bodybuilding program or at least a bodybuilding weight management, body composition strategy, but it's based around your body weight instead. And it allows you to keep getting better in your weight class while still benefiting from the advantages that you get from cutting and bulking, while also at the same time giving you a more objective guide as to when you need to move up weight classes. And again, you also avoid, the long bulks and the long cuts where the long bulks take you too far away from your competitive weight, and then the long cuts damage your hormonal profile and make you perform worse. With this strategy, your bulks and your cuts can really be measured in weeks instead of months. So anyways, guys, that's really all there is to the strategy. For most of you, it's probably still inappropriate. You probably still need to be doing longer cuts and bulks to get closer to, your genetic limit for muscle mass. But for intermediates out there who, are already approaching that level, this is a much more appropriate and sustainable strategy for improving in your weight class than, say, allowing your off-season weight to get way ahead of your competitive weight with a long bulk. And, you know, kind of a similar story, like I said, with the long cuts on the way back down. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed that content. As always, my friends, have a nice day and good luck with your training. Peace.